of course, and what's really going on there. The counting of votes in Mizoram is underway and early trends suggest a clear lead for the ZPM. The main parties in the Mizoram Assembly election are the ruling Mizo National Front, led by Chief Minister Zoram Zoram People's Movement and the Congress. The BJP, a minor player in northeastern state and which won just one seat, is hoping to make big inroads. The Election Commission deferred the counting by a day as Sunday holds a special significance for the Christian majority population in the state. In the 2018 Assembly polls, the MNF, a constituent of the BJP-led NDA, won 26 seats, dislodging the Congress from power. The ZPM emerged victorious in 8 seats, while the Congress was relegated to third place with just 5 seats compared to 34 it won in the year 2013. Mizoram's results come a day after BJP's resounding victory in the Hindi heartland states of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh.
I am not surprised. This is what I expect. Let the full result come out. Let's wait for that, because the counting process is going on. I think it is too early. No, at this stage I don't want to make any comment. Let the final result come out.
As of now, we are leaning more than 20. That is already a majority. So I think we'll form the government with the absolute majority. Now our Valupa Council, that has already decided our to-be Chief Minister, that is Kulal Duoma, who is standing in Sersim constituency. Our main priority will be agriculture, to be self-sufficient in food production, and then electricity and communication and our young generation's affairs. As of now, the trend is that we will be. We are expecting from 25 to 30. 30. Actually, we don't have magic, but our magic is only that we try to form a new system government. I think people like the ZPM party to form the government, mostly the common people. That is to make people's government, not favoritism and then corruption-free and development.
Mizoram is facing financial crisis, and the financial condition is very bad. That is what we are going to inherit from the outgoing government. In spite of this, we are going to honor our commitment, that is buying of 4 selected items such as ginger, turmeric, chili and broomstick. These 4 items have been identified and we have declared the minimum price, and we are going to start right now. From right now, we are going to make a process of buying these 4 items in spite of all the constraints that we are facing. This is our commitment to the people and we are going to honor it. This is our first priority. We are the friend of farmers and we have to give them the top priority. After that, there will be a consolidation in finance. Financial reform is very necessary. For that, we are going to make a resource mobilization team comprising the expert members, and they'll look after the austerity measures, disinvestment measures, and manpower assessment and all that. After that, our main priority will be anti-corruption measures. For that, we are going to give a general consent to the CBI as soon as possible. And after swearing in, we will announce our top priorities for the next coming 100 years.
It's somewhat, it might look surprising, but we were hoping to get around 25. We were hoping to get the majority. So some of them we have not anticipated it. So it's all due to God and our leadership, like under Pulal Duama, the leadership under Pulal Duama. So we're hoping to make a change in the governance, how the finance is being managed and all. We hope we get the Mizoram from this. From my side, we were leading it around, I think, more than 6,000 votes. So the postal ballot hasn't been finished yet, but from EVM, we are leading around nearly 7,000 votes. See, ZPM is all about fighting corruption and good governance. And we are trying to make a government which is made by the people, which look towards the people. So even our narrative or our slogan is Kalphung Thar, which means a better system, a new system, and Mipui Sarkar, government of the people. So we're trying, it's because of the people's belief that we'll have a better governance, that we are having this majority. So the people have shown their mandate. We will show what we can do.
From my side, I'm from Aizawl West 2. In the first round, I'm leading by around about 2,000 votes, which looks healthy, but you still can't feel confident because, election, you never know. Anything can happen in the second round. But finger crossed, we are hopeful of, getting a seat in my constituency. That's number one. Apart from that, if you look at the whole, country, the whole state, I always say in all my interviews that we are confident of getting a majority mark. That is the magic number of 22, and hopefully we are inching closer to it. Honestly, I don't follow the trending, but my prediction on the polling day was 25 seats for ZPM. 21 is the magic number. That is what we are looking for. But hopefully we will cross 25. Yeah, definitely it will beat MNF and ZPM. But it's early days. It's not time to make any prediction because counting is still going on. So I don't want.
So time now to decode the state in India's northeast. Joining me as a guest is F. Lal Ram Looney, who is a political analyst and assistant professor, Faith College, Aizawl, Mizoram. Before I go to her, of course, let me say hello to her. How are you doing today? Lovely to see you. Early and so
hello.
Bright.
Hi.
Such a pleasure. So,
Yes.
should I call you Professor? You look too young to be called Professor. How may I address you, ma'am?
I'm assistant professor.
I will call you
Yes.
Professor. Yes, and
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to you before we get the lay of the land, of course, and my colleague Kabir Naqvi will take us through the recent history in the state of Mizoram. Over to you, Kabir Naqvi. Take it away.
Well, thank you so much, Sudha. Very warm welcome to all the viewers and to Professor Lal Ram Looney also, who's with us on the broadcast. Her analysis over the last couple of days, even after the exit polls, it has been very crucial into understanding what the ZPM, the Zoram People's Movement, why is it, getting these kind of numbers, and what is behind this particular resurgence as it looks to wrest the control back from Zoram Thanga's MNF. But, focus on this screen for just a little bit, just to tell you what's been happening over the last couple of assembly elections. If I could zoom in on this picture right here, what you're looking at right now is a political map of Mizoram in the year 2013. All the light blue that you see is essentially the Congress party. The dark blues that you see right over here in the middle, a little portion towards the south over here, a couple of bastions up in the north, this is Zoram Thanga's MNF. Let me quickly take you to 2018, how things completely took a sudden change. Over here, a picture in stark contrast. All the light blue has gone away. The dark blue of Zoram Thanga's MNF is now taken over completely. The BJP has also gotten one seat. So a little tinge of saffron also over there. Essentially, MNF dominated the 2018 polls. Not so much the Congress. The Congress had just the 4 seats. 27 seats went to the MNF, just the 1 to the BJP. ZPM, again, important to note here, ZPM had 0 seats in the year 2018. And let's shift our focus to what we're picking up in terms of the early trends, even as counting is underway. This is how it looks like right now. The ZPM sitting at 26 seats at the moment. All the light blue, all the dark blue that is completely gone away. ZPM out of nowhere literally out of nowhere, comes and bags these elections. It's too soon to call it out, but if you're looking at the visuals that are coming out of Mizoram, all the ZPM, cadre and the party workers, they're throwing up peace signs in the air. It's music, it's dance galore. And we just heard the president of ZPM as well, who said that we're already working on chilies, we're already working on these 3-4 commodities, about how to control the financing and the fiscal deficit of Mizoram as well. But let me also shift your focus to what the Election Commission is putting out in terms of numbers. If I could ask the camera person to zoom in on this little portion over here. Take a look at this. ZPM with 26 seats, the MNF with 11 seats out of a 40 seat assembly, beg your pardon, Congress with 1, and the BJP with 2. So that's going to be a different debate altogether, why the Congress is throwing up even lesser numbers than the Bharatiya Janata Party in a state where the BJP could only manage to bag just 1 seat back in the year 2018. If I could scroll a little bit down, if you take a look at these developments, Zoram People's Movement, the ZPM, has won 8 seats. It's leading on 18 seats, hence the total number 26. Mizo National Front, Zoram Thanga Chief Minister, the incumbent Chief Minister, only 1 seat they've won so far, 10 seats they're leading, total 11. The Bharatiya Janata Party has at least equaled its score for 2018. It had 1 seat in 2018. It has won 1 seat. Now we're also learning is that Bharatiya Janata Party is leading on another seat. So that's 2 for the BJP and just the 1 for the Congress Party, Sudha, in Mizoram. This is what the early trends right now look like. These are the numbers of the Election Commission. For all those viewers out there who want to understand how to use this app, the TV9 digital team has done a fantastic job. You can log on to News9 Live. We've put all the latest details up there. If you scroll down, you get the proper map. You can play around with the filters, the vote share, the seat share. If I could just tell you about the vote share as well, ladies and gentlemen. ZPM currently, in terms of all the leads that are now trickling in, 38.75% vote share for the ZPM. The Mizo National Front, 34.89% for Zoram Thanga's party, Bharatiya Janata Party with a 4.58% vote share, and the Congress Party with a vote share of 20.60%, but no essential numbers to show for. Back to you, Sudha.
Well, why don't you come and join me rather than being this outstanding man standing there and giving us
that will certainly be a pleasure.
Yeah, please come so that you can also kind of, ask the professor the relevant questions, as it were. Thank you so much, Kabir Naqvi.
Thank you so much for having me.
And you have data with you, and which is the most important thing, Professor. If I can have you back on the screen, ma'am. I just want, maybe all of us here know a little bit, the most, of course, about the ZPM, but for the benefit of the viewers, considering that it was started as more as a social movement, as people's movement, as something which was rather apolitical, and it has now evolved, the ZPM. According to you, Professor, what are the reasons for it to have this spectacular win, as it were, the ZPM, Professor?
Yes, thank you. This is one of the biggest upsets which we have seen in the election result, that the Chief Minister has lost from his constituency, Deputy Chief Minister has lost from his constituency, the Cabinet Health Minister has lost from his constituency, Rural Development Minister has lost from his constituency. All the big shots of the MNF, the government, are losing. And if you have the latest update, the ZPM 11 seats have been confirmed out of 40, and now ZPM are leading in 26 constituency. MNF is leading in 11, BJP in leading 2, which is the minority area, distinct ADC area, and the Congress is leading in 1 constituency. So this is the result clearly shows one of the biggest upset which we have witnessed. Usually this kind of upset have been witnessed after 10 years, after 2 elections. But this is one of the biggest upset which we have witnessed, and this clearly shows that even the rural population, the rural villages are equally eager to change the government. When we looked at the previous before this, when we see the previous interview given by the ZPM Chief Ministerial candidate, that the revival of the agriculture policy which the ZPM promised, and their hand-holding policy which they promised to hold hands with the farmers, have the bigger winning factor than the free cash distribution policy of the MNF and the Congress Party. That can be one of the biggest factor. And the second point is that the BJP, the ZPM, they have promised to fight against corruption, and they promise a new government, and they promise a new system, a new system, a new government of the people, which which is free from corruption, which is free from nepotism. And before the election, also all the 40 MLA and ZPM MLA candidates pledged to not to indulge in corruption. That was shown in the public as well. So this attract the voters from both the rural and the urban areas. And as we can see from the present swing of how how the voting has turned out, that now it looks likely that the PM can cross 25 to 30 seats.
All right. And Kabir, if you have a question for the professor, please go ahead.
No,
shoot.
I'm honestly, Professor, the one thing that is in fact, striking my mind right now is the fact that you and I were discussing how the Congress might fare even lesser than the exit polls, but the BJP getting more seats than the Congress party, I mean, that is something that hasn't been, that's unfathomable. I mean, who would have thought about that?
Yeah, I have said this even on the polling day, that that the BJP has promised this autonomous district council, the ADC areas, of direct funding from the center. That was a big a catchy point for this ADC areas, because this autonomous district council in the southern part of Mizoram comprised of the ethnic minorities like the Maras and the Chakmas. So in these areas that the BJP is gaining a stronghold in these areas, which was so therefore, like what I've mentioned in the morning, that it will be close fight between the Congress and the MNF. The close fight between the Congress and the BJP now. Yeah, the BJP is leading in these areas, but the BJP's impact cannot cross beyond these ADC areas, beyond these minority areas.
Well, in the larger national narrative, people are going to start writing articles about how even in the 3 seats that you had to fight for, BJP is defeated.
But they have done a lot of legwork there. I mean, in the past, whatever articles one has read, of course, the professor is well poised to comment on it, but a lot of work done. But what is most interesting for me here is, Professor, regarding the win of the ZPM is the aspirations of the youth. You can talk about nationalism, you can talk about ethnicity, you can talk about local issues, you can talk about where you stand and where you want to be. But what the young people desire actually is spells the winds of change. Talk a little about it, because it is not just a monolithic community in Mizoram that one is. I mean, like you said, there are Chakmas, there are Lais, there are different kind of communities also. So talk a little about how that has really been advantages for the ZPM, Professor.
Okay. These ethnic minorities, these ethnic minorities are, compared to the larger ethnic groups, they are minority. Yeah, so they vote compared to the vote. In comparing the vote banks, that their influence is a bit, I should say, lesser than the mainstream, youth. Right now, the youth, what the youth want is that they want change. They want a corrupt-free government. They want employment. And right now, Mizoram is facing one of the, Mizoram is one of the highest debt. They have one of the highest debt state or government, I should say. And there is financial difficulty in the state, that unemployment unemployment rate has been increased a lot, and all kinds of nepotism have been going on, that the youth, they feel frustrated. So it's not that, it's not that they 100% trust the ZPM, but they want to test this new system. They want to test this new government. They want to test the third wave. So therefore, like I said, they are becoming, really popular, not only among the youth. They are very, this ZPM has gained popularity even among the government workers, even among the government employee, because if you looked at the ballot papers, if you looked at the, the votes in the ballot papers, that in most of these ballot papers voting, that the ZPM has won in this ballot paper voting. So that is the second point. And the third point is that how the ZPM has won the influence over the rural areas, the farmers, especially among the farmers, with their hand-holding policy. The free cash distribution policy has been, rejected by the rural masses, by the rural agriculture population, and they choose over the ZPM policy of hand-holding policy, which is free from the free cash distribution. So this is another important political development which we have seen in this election.
Wonderful, Professor Lalram Looney. Thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast. Thank you, Kabir Naqvi. It was such a pleasure having you as well.
Thank you.
Like every day in office. Moving on, buoyed by the recent victory in the assembly elections, an assertive BJP gears up to challenge the Congress-led opposition in the winter session of Parliament that starts today. 5 very crucial bills, specifically pertaining to Jammu and Kashmir, aimed at expanding and restructuring its reservation laws and representation in its prospective 90-member Legislative Assembly, are very likely to be taken up during the winter session of Parliament. Out of these 5 bills, 4 are likely to be taken up for passage in the Lok Sabha, where they were introduced in July during the monsoon session. However, one fresh bill providing for extension of women's reservation law has been listed for introduction, consideration and passage in the ensuing session. The Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to the press ahead of the winter session of Parliament, emphasizing that it presents a golden opportunity for the opposition and underscored their crucial role in upholding democracy.
ठंड शायद विलंब से चल रही है और बहुत धीमी गति से ठंड आ रही है, लेकिन राजनीतिक गर्मी बड़ी तेजी से बढ़ रही है। कल ही 4 राज्यों के चुनाव नतीजे आए हैं। बहुत ही उत्साहवर्धक परिणाम है। ये उनके लिए उत्साहवर्धक है जो देश के सामान्य मानवी के कल्याण के लिए कमिटेड है, जो देश के उज्जवल भविष्य के लिए समर्पित है, विशेषकर सभी समाजों की, सभी समूहों की, शहर और गांव की महिलाएं, सभी समाज के, सभी समूह के, गांव और शहर के युवा, हर समुदाय के, समाज के किसान और मेरे देश के गरीब, ये 4 ऐसी महत्वपूर्ण जातियां हैं जिनका एम्पावरमेंट उनके भविष्य को सुनिश्चित करने वाली ठोस योजनाएं और लास्ट माइल डिलीवरी इन उसूलों को लेकर के जो चलते हैं उन्हें भरपूर समर्थन मिलता है। और जब गुड गवर्नेंस होता है, पूर्णतया जनहित के लिए समर्पण होता है, तो एंटी इनकम्बेंसी ये शब्द इरेलेवेंट हो जाता है। और हम लगातार ये देख रहे हैं, कोई इसको प्रो इनकम्बेंसी कहे, कोई इसे गुड गवर्नेंस कहे, कोई इसे ट्रांसपेरेंसी कहे, कोई उसे राष्ट्रहित की, जनहित की ठोस योजनाएं कहें, लेकिन ये लगातार अनुभव आ रहा है। और इतने उत्तम जनादेश के बाद आज हम संसद के इस नए मंदिर में मिल रहे हैं। इस संसद भवन के नए परिसर का उद्घाटन हुआ, तब तो एक छोटा सा सत्र था, ऐतिहासिक निर्णय हुआ था, लेकिन इस बार लंबे समय तक इस सदन में कार्य करने का अवसर मिलेगा। नया सदन है, छोटी मोटी अभी भी शायद व्यवस्थाओं में कुछ कमियां महसूस हो सकती हैं। जब लगातार काम चलेगा, सांसदों और विजिटर्स को भी, मीडिया के लोगों को भी ध्यान में आएगा कि इसको जरा अगर ठीक कर लिया जाए तो अच्छा होगा। और मुझे विश्वास है कि आदरणीय उपराष्ट्रपति जी और आदरणीय स्पीकर महोदय के नेतृत्व में उन चीजों की तरफ पूरी तरह निगरानी है। और आपसे भी मैं कहूंगा, कोई चीज ऐसी छोटी मोटी आपके ध्यान में आए तो जरूर आप ध्यान आकर्षित करना, क्योंकि ये चीजें जब बनती हैं तो आवश्यकता के अनुसार बदलाव की भी जरूरत होती है। देश ने नकारात्मकता को नकारा है। मैं लगातार सत्र के प्रारंभ में विपक्ष के साथियों के साथ हमारा विचार विमर्श होता है, हमारी मेन टीम उनसे चर्चा करती है। मिलकर के भी सबके सहयोग के लिए हम हमेशा प्रार्थना करते हैं, आग्रह करते हैं। इस बार भी इस प्रकार की सारी प्रक्रियाएं कर ली गई हैं और आपके माध्यम से भी मैं सार्वजनिक रूप से हमेशा हमारे सभी सांसदों से आग्रह करता हूं, लोकतंत्र का ये मंदिर जन आकांक्षाओं के लिए, विकसित भारत की नींव को अधिक मजबूत बनाने के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण मंच है। मैं सभी माननीय सांसदों से आग्रह कर रहा हूं कि वो ज्यादा से ज्यादा तैयारी करके आएं। सदन में जो भी बिल रखे जाए उस पर गहन चर्चा हो, उत्तम से उत्तम सुझाव आए और उन सुझावों के द्वारा, क्योंकि जब एक सांसद सुझाव देता है तो जमीनी अनुभव का उसमें बहुत ही उत्तम तत्व होता है, लेकिन अगर चर्चा ही नहीं होती है तो देश उससे मिस करता है उन चीजों को। और इसलिए मैं फिर से आग्रह करता हूं, और अगर मैं वर्तमान चुनाव नतीजों के आधार पर कहूं तो जो विपक्ष में बैठे हुए साथी हैं, ये उनके लिए गोल्डन अपॉर्चुनिटी है। इस सत्र में पराजय का गुस्सा निकालने की योजना बनाने के बजाय इस पराजय में से सीख करके पिछले 9 साल से चलाई गई नकारात्मकता की प्रवृत्ति को छोड़ करके इस सत्र में अगर सकारात्मकता के साथ आगे बढ़ेंगे तो देश उनके तरफ देखने का दृष्टिकोण बदलेगा, उनके लिए एक नया द्वार खुल सकता है। और वो विपक्ष में है तो भी उनको एक अच्छी एडवाइस दे रहा हूं कि आइए, सकारात्मक विचार लेकर के आइए। अगर हम 10 कदम चलते तो आप 12 कदम करके फैसला लेकर के आइए। हर किसी का भविष्य उज्जवल है, निराश होने की जरूरत नहीं है, लेकिन कृपा करके बाहर के पराजय का गुस्सा सदन में मत उतारना। हताशा, निराशा होगी, आपके साथियों को आपका दम दिखाने के लिए कुछ न कुछ करना भी पड़ेगा, लेकिन कम से कम लोकतंत्र के इस मंदिर को वो मंच मत बनाइए। और अभी भी मैं कहता हूं, मैं मेरे लंबे अनुभव के आधार पर कहता हूं कि थोड़ा सा अपना रुख बदलिए, विरोध के विरोध का तरीका छोड़िए, देश हित में सकारात्मक चीजों का साथ दीजिए, अच्छी उसमें जो कमियां हो उसकी डिबेट कीजिए। आप देखिए देश के मन में आज जो ऐसी कुछ बातों पर नफरत पैदा हो रही है, हो सकता है वो मोहब्बत में बदल जाए। तो मौका है, ये मौका जाने मत दीजिए। और इसलिए हर बार मैं करबद्ध प्रार्थना करता रहा हूं कि सदन में सहयोग दीजिए। आज मैं राजनीतिक दृष्टिकोण से भी कहना चाहता हूं कि आपका भी भला इसमें है कि आप देश को सकारात्मकता का संदेश दें। आपकी छवि नफरत की और नकारात्मकता की बने, वो लोकतंत्र के लिए अच्छा नहीं है। लोकतंत्र में विपक्ष भी इतना ही महत्वपूर्ण है, उतना ही मूल्यवान है और उतना ही सामर्थ्यवान भी होना चाहिए। और लोकतंत्र की भलाई के लिए मैं फिर से एक बार अपनी ये भावना को प्रकट करता हूं। 2047 अब देश विकसित होने के लक्ष्य में लंबा इंतजार करना नहीं चाहता। समाज के हर वर्ग में यह भाव पैदा हुआ है कि बस आगे बढ़ना है। इस भावना को हमारे सभी माननीय सांसद आदर करते हुए सदन को उस मजबूती से आगे बढ़ाएं, यही मेरी उनसे प्रार्थना है।
Meanwhile, the parliamentary leaders of the India opposition bloc convened in LOP Mallikarjun Kharge's chambers ahead of the session.
मीटिंग बुलाया हूँ ऑल पार्टी का, तो ऑल पार्टी के मीटिंग में जो डिसाइड होता क्या करना आज क्या नहीं करना, उसके लिए हम बैठ रहे अभी 10 o'clock, 8:45, सॉरी 9:45, तो फिर उसके बाद जो भी होगा।
शीतकालीन सत्र का पहला दिन है और हम चाहे सरकार चाहेगी हर मुद्दे पर अगर विपक्ष चर्चा करना चाहते हैं तो चर्चा करें, वो नोटिस दें जो चेयरमैन राज्यसभा स्पीकर लोकसभा तय करेंगे, उस हर मुद्दे पे सरकार चर्चा करने के लिए तैयार है।
Parliament, it's a usual session. In between we had a special session. Now this will be the last session of the 17th Lok Sabha and 262 session of Rajya Sabha, and we have already made our stand very clear that there must be a place for opposition's agendas as well. It should not be for government business only. Government already introduced, likely to introduce 19 bills. Of course, we will take part in the discussion, but at the same time, we would like to raise certain genuine issues. And we already demanded that the opposition should get a place.
देखिए, मैं इंडिया गठबंधन से हूँ और मुझे लगता है जिस तरह से जहाँ जहाँ भाजपा की सरकार नहीं थी, वहाँ के लोगों को जिस तरह से ईडी और सीबीआई से लगा के उनको बदनाम किया गया, उसका असर कहीं ना कहीं जनता के दिमाग में पड़ा है। उनकी ये चाल कामयाब रही, क्योंकि अगर इस तरह से नहीं होता, माहौल ऐसा नहीं बनता, तो रिजल्ट कुछ और होते, क्योंकि हर तरफ सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा था। तो ये तो भाजपा हमेशा इस तरह की स्ट्रेटेजी अपनाती है चुनाव से पहले। तो आप देखिए, जो भाजपा के पूर्व नेता रहे हैं, मंत्री, मुख्यमंत्री रहे हैं कई राज्यों में, उन पर बहुत सारे भ्रष्टाचार के केसेस हैं, लेकिन उनके यहाँ ना तो सीबीआई गई ना ईडी गई, और वो पाक साफ जनता की नजर में रहे। चुनाव परिणाम हमेशा पहले से आप नहीं बोल सकते हैं। जो भी पार्टियां हैं वो अपना स्ट्रेटेजी बनाती है और जनता का भरोसा जीतने की कोशिश करती है। अभी 2024 के चुनाव में काफी विलंब है और मुझे लगता है तब तक सब कुछ अच्छे हो जाएगा, क्योंकि इस तरह का परिणाम 20 साल पहले भी आया था। कांग्रेस तीनों स्टेट हार गई थी, फिर उन्होंने 2004 में वापसी की और बहुत अच्छी संख्या में उन्होंने वापसी की। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि एक बार कोई परिणाम खराब आया तो आगे नहीं होगा। जनता हमेशा देखती रहती है और आप जनता को बार बार गुमराह नहीं कर सकते हैं।
I don't think it is a Modi magic. It is because of the disunity among secular opposition parties. It is a lesson to International Congress, who is the leader of opposition unity.
And what will be the strategy of the opposition party during this winter sessions?
Now we are going to discuss our India platform to unite all the opposition secular parties and fight against BJP.
ये स्वाभाविक रूप से जो जाति के आधार पर समाज को बांटना चाहते थे, उनके सामने ये उनके मुंह पर एक तमाचा है कि ये समाज संगठित होकर के ही आगे बढ़ सकता है। और मोदी जी ने कहा केवल देश में 4 जातियां हैं, महिलाएं, नौजवान, किसान और गरीब। इनके कल्याण के लिए हमें काम करना है और जनता ने उसे स्वीकार किया। मोदी जी पर पूरा भरोसा किया, उनके वायदे को पूरा उस पर भरोसा किया और उसी का ये नतीजा है।
24 का मैसेज क्या है इस चुनाव?
24 में एक तरफा चुनाव होगा। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में जिस तरीके से जनमत तैयार हुआ है, तो उसके बाद 24 का चुनाव में कोई संदेह नहीं।
देखिए, जिस तरीके से उनकी जीत हुई है, खास करके मध्य प्रदेश और छत्तीसगढ़ में, सरप्राइजिंग थी, पर वो बधाई के पात्र हैं। उन्होंने जनता के बीच में जाकर जनता को कन्विंस कर पाए। नरेंद्र मोदी जी खुद वहां पर चुनाव प्रचार कर रहे थे, कोई चुनावी चेहरा नहीं था, सीएम का चेहरा नहीं था, तो जनता ने उन पर विश्वास जताया, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है। साथ ही साथ यही कहूंगी कि जो भी रिजल्ट आते हैं, 2018 के रिजल्ट देख लीजिए, वो लोकसभा में कन्वर्ट नहीं होते हैं। जनता इंडिया के मुद्दों पर वोट करती है, तो हम बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट हैं कि आने वाले समय में हम लोग फिर से इंडिया अलायंस एक साथ मिलकर एजेंडा तैयार करेगा, सीट शेयरिंग की चर्चा होगा और कैंपेन बात हो, मणिपुर की बात हो, मराठा रिजर्वेशन का आज मेरा मुद्दा है जो 0 आवर में मैं उठाऊंगी, उस पर चर्चा होनी चाहिए। तो विपक्ष की चर्चा करें तो यहाँ पे पॉजिटिव क्लाइमेट बनेगा, डेमोक्रेसी की जीत होगी।
ये एक ऐसा विश्वास है जो नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने बहुत लंबे समय में अर्जित किया है और अब लोगों को पता चल गया है कि मोदी जी जो कहते हैं वही विश्वास करने के लिए काफी है। लेकिन अगर उन्होंने गारंटी दे दी, फिर तो इस देश का, दुनिया का कोई व्यक्ति जो सच्चाई के रास्ते पे चलने चाहता होगा, ईमानदारी के रास्ते पे, वो अविश्वास कर ही नहीं सकता। और उसी विश्वास की, उसी मोदी जी की गारंटी की जीत है। नहीं, उनको तो बहुत करारा जवाब दे दिया है। देखिए, राजस्थान, मध्य प्रदेश, छत्तीसगढ़, ये अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा भारत है और यहाँ से, इस हार्टलैंड से इस तरह का मैसेज आना, हमें अगर 2024 में 400 से ज़्यादा भी सीटें मिलें तो किसी को आश्चर्य नहीं होना चाहिए, सबकी जुबान पे यही, क्योंकि विश्वास तो उन्हीं का अर्जित करना था। नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने अपने कार्यों से जो कहते हैं वो करना है, इससे जिनका विश्वास जीते वो उन्हीं गरीबों का, महिलाओं का, युवाओं का, आदिवासी समाज का विश्वास जीता है। और बाकी लोग और तो बहुत विश्वास में पहले से थे, और जो लोग को भ्रमित कर रही थी दूसरे दल, दूसरी पार्टियां, उन लोगों का विश्वास ऐसा जमा है कि अभी पता नहीं आज संसद चल रही है, सवेरे उठ भी पाएंगे कि नहीं, आ भी पाएंगे कि नहीं, इसमें भी शंका है।
कुछ दिन पहले कर्नाटक में चुनाव हुई थी, हिमाचल में भी हुई थी। उस समय मोदी जी की ये ज्ञान कहाँ थी पता नहीं। अभी जीतने के बाद सारे ज्ञान उभर कर आ रहे हैं। अच्छा है, अगर ये इस तरह की चले तो अच्छा है, लेकिन मोदी जी समय समय पे ज्ञान निकालते हैं और उनकी सुविधा के मुताबिक वो ज्ञान खो भी जाते हैं। ये प्रधानमंत्री जी, और मान लीजिए छत्तीसगढ़ में प्रधानमंत्री वर्सेस बाघेल, और राजस्थान में प्रधानमंत्री वर्सेस गहलोत, वोट इस तरह की हुई। हमें पहली बार देखा कि दिल्ली छोड़ के देश के प्रधानमंत्री गांव-गांव भटक रहे हैं चुनाव जीतने के लिए, ये भी देखा है। बीजेपी जो कह रहे हैं प्रधानमंत्री के अलावा उनके पार्टी का कोई है ही नहीं, तो क्या करे। एक ही मोहरा है प्रधानमंत्री और मोदी जी, और मोदी जी की तिलस्मी पे चलने वाला पार्टी है। तो ये बीजेपी की जीत नहीं, मोदी की जीत है। ये बीजेपी अगर माने तो ठीक है। ये ना आरएसएस की जीत है, ना की जीत है, ना बीजेपी की जीत है। वो मान ले कि मोदी की जीत है। देखिए, ये तो ऑपोजिशन हम करेंगे, अपोज करेंगे कि इस तरीके की बहिष्कार ना किया जाए। चिट्ठी लिखे हैं, बार बार हम बोलते हैं। अरे सारे बात तो प्रेस में आ गए हैं, नई बात क्या कहेंगे हम लोग। सदन की बात सदन के अंदर होना चाहिए, सदन के बाहर पहले होते हैं। ये मोदी जमाने की नया एक मतलब उदाहरण की, सदन की बात जो अंदर होना चाहिए बाहर पहले होते हैं, उसके बाद अंदर जाते हैं।
बहुत ही शानदार विजय हुई है।
मोदी जी का मैसेज बरकरार है जिस तरह से।
अब लगता है सारे देश ने यह माइंड मेकअप कर लिया है कि 2024 के लोकसभा इलेक्शन में भारतीय जनता पार्टी
आराम से
क्लियर मेजॉरिटी, जितनी सीटें पिछले लोकसभा के चुनाव में आई थी उससे कहीं अधिक सीटों पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी और एनडीए के लोग विजय प्राप्त करेंगे।
The Prime Minister was welcomed with a huge round of applause right at the start of the winter session of Parliament. Time for celebrations, of course. Now, in the winter session of Parliament, BSP MP Danish Ali staged a protest within the parliamentary premises, holding a placard which read, "Punish Biduri and save democracy," in opposite to BJP MP Ramesh Biduri.
एथिक्स कमेटी की रिपोर्ट जो है बिना रूल्स के जो है महुआ मोइत्रा को का डिपोजिशन ही कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ वहां, तो हम तो ये मांग करें कम से कम सदन के अंदर तो चर्चा हो। और हमने माननीय स्पीकर साहब को भी खत लिखा है कि ये कब से पावर दे दी गई कि किसी भी कमेटी के किसी भी सदस्य के खिलाफ भी जो है सो मोटो रिपोर्ट में रिकमेंडेशन हो जाए, तो कोई रूल्स और रेगुलेशन तो मानने को तैयार नहीं है यहाँ पर कोई।
आपने अपना मुद्दा भी उठाया जो आपके साथ बात हुई थी।
हमने तो रूल्स को कोट किया है। एथिक्स कमेटी के जो रूल्स हैं, रूल्स के मुताबिक चलेगी कमेटी या ये देश कानून के मुताबिक चलेगा ना। मेजॉरिटी का मतलब ये नहीं है कि सबको बुलडोज कर दो आप। मेजॉरिटी का मतलब ये नहीं है लोकतंत्र में कि यू कैन डिमोलिश एवरीबॉडी।
विपक्ष को आतंकवादी कहना, आतंकवादियों का पोषक कहना, ये पॉजिटिविटी है, नेगेटिविटी की पराकाष्ठा है। हम और हमारा दल हमेशा मानता है कि आपका विमर्श भी पॉजिटिव हो।
Even as the winter session of Parliament commences, the first agenda is poised to be a contentious debate surrounding the cash for query scandal involving Trinamool Congress MP Mahua Moitra. The Ethics Committee's investigation into the allegations has purportedly concluded with a recommendation for Moitra's expulsion from the lower house. The Ethics Committee is scheduled to present the report, signalling a stormy start to the session, which means the opening day itself could witness extremely stormy scenes and a clash between the Treasury and opposition benches.
The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Ethics and Privileges would be tabling the report pertaining to Mahua Moitra's unethical conduct in the Parliament. So I think that would also be tabled maybe on 4th. So this is how it is. This is a very important session of the Parliament, very intense it would be, and through you I can only make an appeal to all the members of Parliament from different political parties, especially the opposition parties, that let's all work together, let's all create an atmosphere of positivity, and let's discuss each and everything, let's give our opinion, let's not create ruckus, and let's not create impediments in the holding of the session of the Parliament.
The item of filing the Ethics Committee report was skipped when they laid papers on the table. I hope that is a good sign that the government is rethinking this rather extreme step. But having said that, we have a number of very fundamental questions in our mind about this. First of all, there is a peculiar business of the overlapping mandates of the Privileges Committee and the Ethics Committee. The last time MPs were expelled, it was the Privileges Committee. Now the Ethics Committee is also getting into this. On what basis? Secondly, in any procedure involving something as serious as expulsion, there has to be an opportunity for cross-examination of witnesses, for all sides to be heard. That is not, as far as we are aware, happened. The report has been done in a very one-sided manner. Third concern is also that we're looking at a situation where, if they are going to bring this motion to endorse the recommendation of the Ethics Committee to expel a member, they have to give the member a chance to speak in her own defense, and they have to permit a discussion where others can raise serious issues. So all of these are matters of great concern to the opposition as a whole. It is not a matter for one party. Otherwise, if an MP who criticizes the government can be expelled on grounds which have not been substantiated and on the basis of charges which would not stand up in any court of law, then I think we have a real trouble with the way in which the parliamentary system is functioning. So I'm hoping the government is rethinking it. Their decision today to not put it on the table of the House is a good start. Let's hope they follow that through. As far as I'm aware, every opposition party feels it's a matter of principle. I was having informal conversations with members from a few other parties. Everybody's of the same view.
Moving on, in 4 state assembly elections that were considered as semi-finals to the 2024 general elections, the BJP bagged wins in 3 states. The Congress was able to wrest Telangana in the south from the BJP. After the BJP won comfortably in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the results point to the party doing well in the 2024 Lok Sabha polls as well. The BJP was able to wrest Rajasthan from the Congress, with eastern Rajasthan, which is Gujar dominated, swinging in favour of the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Congress was in Madhya Pradesh, which was expected to see a close contest, was a clean sweep for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Kamal Nath, who was Congress's heavyweight, said he had never anticipated such a loss. Moving on to Chhattisgarh, which witnessed a surprise with Congress losing the tribal belt and the BJP winning the elections in the state. The only consolation, of course, for the Congress party was Telangana, where it beat the BRS in a high-stakes game. And there you see incumbent Chief Minister Revant Reddy being congratulated by the cadre and also the people of Telangana. Huge crowds and the rally that seems to be a victory rally for Revant Reddy, the man of the moment. News coming in from Chennai. The state's airport is shut as Cyclone Michaung is all set to make a landfall in the west central Bay of Bengal of South Andhra Pradesh and North Tamil Nadu coast on the 4th of December forenoon. The National Disaster Response Force, that is NDRF, has mobilized 21 teams for rescue and relief operations. The Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba chaired the second National Crisis Management Committee or NCMC meeting on Sunday to assess the readiness of the state governments and central ministries for the approaching cyclone. Regions including North Coastal Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Coastal Andhra Pradesh, Rayalaseema, Telangana and Odisha all are expected to witness varying intensities of rainfall during the cyclonic period. Those are the visuals. The rain apparently has abated, but as of now, Tamil Nadu on high alert. All the schools have been given leave, also private educational institutions, and it's bracing itself for the approaching cyclone, which is Michaung. Of course, enough and more precautions have been taken. The teams are battle ready to handle any kind of an emergency. But in Chennai, even Chief Minister M.K. Stalin took a meeting, and even as we speak, the entire government and its machinery is ready to ward off any kind of an emergency situation because of the impending cyclone Michaung. Of course, the other states are also vulnerable, and those include North Coastal Tamil Nadu, of course, Puducherry, Coastal Andhra Pradesh, Rayalaseema, Telangana, as well as Odisha. The latest visuals on your screens right now, unabated rain, inundated roads in Chennai. But like I said, both the government as well as the administration are battle ready to handle any kind of emergency. The cyclone is supposed to make a landfall on 4th of December, but we'll have to wait and see whether it can move or not. Also, the NDRF teams are now ready. Almost 21 teams have been mobilized for rescue and relief measures. The Cabinet Secretary Rajiv Gauba also chaired the second National Crisis Management Committee meeting on Sunday to assess the readiness of state governments as well as central agencies for the impending cyclone in Tamil Nadu.
Cyclonic storm Michaung now lies over southwest Bay of Bengal, 330 kilometers southeast direction to the Chennai. And coming hours it will move in northwest direction, reaches to the North Tamil Nadu and South Andhra coast. And it will cross between Machilipattam and Nellore districts around 5th. Due to this system, along and off Andhra Pradesh coast as well as North Tamil Nadu coast, wind speed reaching now 45 to 55 western to 65. A gradual increase will be there, near about 80 to 90 gusting, even 100 to 110 kilometers per hour may prevail. Due to this system, today Rayalaseema and South Andhra districts, orange warning will be there, and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow red warnings, means rainfall heavy to very heavy with extremely heavy rainfall also possibility is there.
See this, as soon as we received the news, the forecast about this depression and deep depression in Bay of Bengal, the first thing was that our Honorable CM conducted a meeting with the district collectors and other state level officers, and it was followed by a detailed meeting by me and the ACS and Commissioner of Revenue Administration. So we sensitize all our senior officers, and also we also assess the requirement of the resources which we may require.
The deep depression which is over southwest Bay of Bengal, intensified cyclonic storm today morning, is named as a big jam, and it is moving northwest direction. Further, it is expected to further intensify into severe cyclonic storm, and it will move towards the north Tamil Nadu, South Andhra coast by tomorrow morning, and further after that it will move parallel to the northward direction, parallel to the South Andhra coast, and it will cross between Nellore and Machilipattam 5th morning. So this is the path of the expected path of this cyclone, as we see that northwest direction, and come very near to the north Andhra, Tamil Nadu, South Andhra coast. After that it will recur. And now if you see that as far as the rainfall is concerned, broadly speaking, next 2 days Tamil Nadu, many places will get, particularly coastal and adjoining areas, moderate rainfall activity. But as far as the heavy rainfall warning is concerned, Tiruvallur, Chennai, Kanjipuram, Chengalpattu, these areas, 1 or 2 places extremely heavy rain, and Ranipet and Kanjipuram, 1 or 2 places very heavy rain, and Velur to Tiruvannamalai to this one. Yes, this is for today and tomorrow, but the thing is it will vary according to the movement of the system.
The latest visuals on your screen, Tamil Nadu gearing up to ward off the cyclone Michaung. Even as you heard, all the administrative authorities talking about how they are battle ready to deal with any kind of emergency. Rains lashing several parts of Tamil Nadu. Also, the neighbouring states of Telangana and Odisha also getting ready to ward off the cyclone Michaung, which is expected to make a landfall on 4th of December in the state. But as of now, as you see, everything seems to be under control, although rains are lashing the state. Latest visuals on your screen right now. Very thin traffic on the roads. That's because schools have been shut down, even private institutions. Enough of safety and security measures have been taken both by the government as well as the local administration. The Met Department is watching the situation every second. That's all we have in this bulletin. For all the news and analysis, keep watching News 9 Live. Thank you for watching.
They picked my husband. He was tortured there for 2 years. He was enforced disappeared. We had no idea